Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Tasiyat coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Makakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and in sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. Khan shalom. Okay, so before I start off, I want to say that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. Okay, the real name of God is Yahweh. The real name of his son is Yahushai. Okay, and they are described in the Bible as having a dark skin with white woolly hair, and a white beard. Okay, now basically, as you can see, there's a lot of things going on right now. Okay, on this planet Earth, as we're getting closer unto the end. Like more wickedness, of course. Also, more nations fighting against nations, like the war that is happening between Iran and Israel. So we know that when we look at these things, that we know that we are close at the end. Okay, we know that we are close at the end. All right, like Yahushua said in Matthew chapter 24, verse 6, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Don't be afraid. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So these things have to happen, okay? It's not the end yet, but it has to happen, all right? But we are in the end time, okay? But it's not the end as in, where we are now already going to be saved, okay? That Yahushua is going to return back tomorrow, okay? So the things have to happen first, like the chip has to come, okay? Jacob's trouble, all right? So it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." So you're seeing that happening right now. Nations fighting each other. Iran, Israel, for example, "And there shall be famines." What is a famine? A famine is a hunger, okay? A shortage of food. "And pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Okay, pestilences are diseases. All right, earthquakes, you know what they are. In diverse places. So you see these things happening in different places, All these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, it's the beginning, man. Okay, so famine, for example, right? The shortcoming of food, okay, is also being spoken about in the scriptures. Okay, let me read it in the book of 2nd Ezra. Let me see, which chapter was it again? Let me do it like this, man. Full storehouses. Because people like to say that we are already, how do you say that? That people like to say that they are already saved and whatnot. But how can you be saved already if you still have to go through to certain things? Like, let me jump real quick back to Matthew chapter 24. Okay. Matthew chapter 24, verse 13. "But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved." So if it says that the end is not yet, a few verses up, and here it says, if you endure until the end, you're going to be saved. How are you already saved if it's not the end yet? Okay, so people that say, "I'm already saved through Jesus Christ and whatnot," they are lying, man. You cannot be saved yet. We don't even know that if we are going to be saved. That's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. Okay, we don't know if we're going to be saved, but we hope and we believe that we're going to be saved. Okay, so let's look up the word endure. It says to remain, to tarry behind, to remain, abide. It says not recede or flee, to endure, bear bravely and calmly ill treatments. So it says here in the blue, endure, take patiently, tarry behind, abide, patient, suffer. Because when you're enduring, you're suffering. Okay, you're also suffering by being in this society because you don't want to be in this society, man. You want this to be over. We ready for the kingdom, man. This society is played out, man. It's done. Okay. So in the Strong's definitions, it says to stay under, behind, remain, figuratively to undergo, bear trials. Going to trials, man, in this society. Have fortitude, persevere, abide, endure. Okay, patiently suffer, tarry behind. So basically, you gotta endure, you gotta suffer until the end, and then you're gonna be saved. So how can you say that you're already saved, man? Like I said, certain prophecies still have to come to pass, man. Okay, and we know that, of course, this life is not only suffering because we are actually blessed. Once you come into this truth, once you know about Yahweh Bashem Yashai, you're actually blessed. But it means that you are not gonna go to the kingdom without suffering certain things, man. Okay, it's a fight. Okay, it's the good fight, so to say. So the book of Acts chapter 14 verse 22, confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of the Most High. Okay, so we have to go through certain things. All right? You have to go through. There's no other way, man. You cannot have a shortcut, In a Surinamese language, you say borapasi, like there's a shortcut or some other way to go. There ain't no other way, man. There ain't no other way, man. Okay? So, let's look that also up, man. Other door. I believe Yahweh Shah also said it, man. I believe it's John chapter 10, verse 1. It says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. Okay, you cannot go in another way, man. But he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. Okay, we all go through some afflictions, and we all have to suffer certain things before we enter into the kingdom. Everybody is gonna go through something different, of course, man. But still, the Most High will never give you anything that you cannot handle. He will still give you something that you are able to handle, man. Okay, Salakia for the background noise. Okay, so let's read that in 1 Corinthians chapter 10 before we go back to 2nd Ezra. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 13. Therefore, there had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men. Let's see what the NLT Bible version says. In 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. The temptations in your life are no different from what others experience. You see? And Yahweh is faithful. He will not allow the temptation to be more than you can stand. When you are tempted, He will show you a way out so that you can endure. That is actually what it means. So in the King James Version, verse 13, there had no temptation taken you, but such as is common to men. But Yahweh is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it. You never get anything you cannot handle, never get anything that is above your limit, even though it might feel like it's your limit. And I think we all have this experience that you really feel like you're at your limit and that you're then being tested over your limit. But that actually is not happening. It's all in your head. It's all in your head. Maybe you got to go to work. You start 7 a.m. in the morning with work. Meanwhile, you only slept one or 2 hours. You got to work the whole day. And then when you come home again, you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to study maybe even. And the next day, you have to work again early, day in, day out, getting closer to that limit, but it's never above your limit. Okay, when you're suffering these things, like I just explained, like it's annoying to go early to a job without a lot of rest. Okay, going to people that you don't like, having to socialize every time, and then all of a sudden, it just ends. Like all of a sudden, you have a period of rest. you know. Maybe go on a vacation, or maybe you all of a sudden get extra money or whatnot. The Most High gives you blessings also, man. Okay, He knows what you can withstand. You know, He knows what your limit is. Okay, He's just testing you. You know, He's just making us stronger, man. And it's not always fun to go through these things, man. But it is what it is. It's part of it, man. So like I said, man, certain prophecies still have to happen before the end, before the climax, before Yahushua is going to save us. Okay, so 2nd Ezra 6, verse 22. And suddenly, so all of a sudden, shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So your storehouse, what is a storehouse? Like a shop, like a Albert Heijn, Jumbo, in America, for example, or Walmart, you know. These stores, they are constantly full with food, drinking water, clothing maybe that you need, things for your washing machine, toilet paper, you know, herbs, spices, okay, vegetables, fruit, all these things, okay, drinks, all these things. When shit hits the fan, okay, the whole store is gonna be empty, man. And also people are gonna plunder these stores. When shit hits the fan, you know, within 2 or 3 days, the whole store is empty, man. Okay, so after 3 days, if the whole store is empty, right? And there's chaos everywhere, you know? Do you think that the food trucks are still gonna be driving and delivering food to the stores? Nah, man. So after 2, 3 days, maybe 4 days, when the stores are empty, that's it, man. That's it, you know? So what are you gonna do then if you don't listen to Yahweh Bashem Yashai? You know? What are you gonna do in that time, man? Yeah, you might have stored up some food for a couple of weeks, okay, or months even, okay. So who's to say that not some random group of criminals or Edomites come and break your house in and take everything you so-called stored up, you know? So still you ain't nothing without Yahweh Bashem Yashai, man. So that is also gonna come, okay? And of course, the hour of temptation, okay, which is the time wherein the chip is going to be made mandatory, all right? Revelation 3 verse 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth, okay? People are going to be tested. You're going to take the chip or you're not going to take the chip, okay? Revelation 13 speaks about a chip. Verse 16. And he, who is he? The so-called white man, the elites that rule this planet Earth, causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, no matter who you are, man, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So that mark is speaking about a chip that is going to be either in your hands or in your brain. Okay, not necessarily only your right hand. Could be your left hand, you know, not necessarily your forehead, you know, speaking about your brain, like Neuralink from Elon Musk. Okay, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. So you cannot buy or sell anything unless you have this mark, this chip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And you see the technology is getting, let me say like this, man, the chip is already out. Okay, the chip is already in use, but it's not mandatory that the mass population of the world is being forced to take this chip and to use it in society, you know. But we're getting towards that point, man. So all these other Hebrew Israelite camps that teach otherwise, they are gonna have some explaining to do when this thing happens, you know. So I just wanted to make this video about a few things, you know. I hope it was edifying. With that, I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rukakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akim across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth in sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. Kal shalom.